So I am going through some of these tweet threads that I either came across or that I was sent. Hilary Crowder recently put up, I recently received a cease and desist for several of my ex posts. You know, if anyone reading this doesn't like my post, there is a mute button. I wonder who she is talking about. But Cat Canada says, so no free speech then. And then Hillary said, evidently not. I don't know what world people are living in where they think that they get to squash people's freedom of speech, especially if they're not saying anything wrong. So, all of this divorce is playing out and it is clearly messy. That is the reason why I am watching her page. People definitely has some things to say. She gets a lot of trolls on her page and she has a lot of supporters. But Joe from Texas says, you are still around? Go find another person to set up, bum. And then Phoenix says, you sound like a terrible person, bum. And Joe from Texas says, considering this is a text basis system, I am impressed you can tell what I sound like. Well, Joe from Texas sure showed her. Gretchen Lynn says, we asked him to cease and desist being a whiny B word. Matt says, wow, all these comments somehow knowing who the non-spoken ex-husband is almost as if you're clinging to that last name for money. I guess maybe go back to maiden name like any self-respecting, self-proclaimed victim. Oh, right, Corzon doesn't pull the clicks. And then Kyra says, maybe quit talking about him or insinuating it could be him and go live your life. He doesn't talk this ish up on his show unless he has to. And that's because of you. Why can't you just keep this ish private? Cucker Torelson says, if someone abused someone else, who would talk about it, the victim or the perpetrator? It seems an unfair rule to make the one talking about something the morally inferior as you seem to be doing. If Stephen wants to talk about it, he could, especially if he's the victim here. Secondly, why are you even bothering to comment on her post if you know her ex so well to know what he isn't talking about? That seems like some serious vicarious butt hurt. Maybe you should stop stalking Hillary and go live your life. Samantha says, I think it's important to have discussions like this on the right, as many trusting women can be taken advantage of by actual jerks due to our idealization of traditional relationships. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I talk about a lot of this stuff too, because so many people, so many women and girls are socialized and programmed to just go along with what men are saying and doing. It is literally part of their social indoctrination through religion. So that's the reason why I talk about it. But Marie says it's because she's a vile, wretched, miserable hag. That is what you become as a woman when you are getting a divorce and it's a contentious divorce. You become miserable. Gracie says, what show are you watching? He talks ish about her all the time and has for years. He just does it by generalizing about women. So that's some of the things that were said under that tweet thread. Considering this is election season, I felt that this was an important tweet thread to talk about. Olivia put out this post. Can my husband find out who I am voting for in the presidential election? She says we've been getting this question a lot, so we rounded up some helpful facts. Please share this thread. I had to change office venues because it got too hot on the balcony. But Olivia says, number one, in a presidential election, you can vote for anyone on the ballot and from any party. As an example, if you are a registered Republican, you can vote for the Democratic nominee for president, vice president, etc. And if you are a registered Democrat, you can vote for the Republican nominee for president. You do not have to change your registered party to vote for a nominee in the other party. Number two, your voter registration information is public. This can include that you voted, your address, and the party you are registered for. Now, here's the important part. Who you actually vote for on the ballot is not public information. You do not need to tell your spouse who you voted for, even if they ask. You can say, that's between me and the ballot box. Your right to vote is part of our civil liberties, and your vote is your own. That being said, do whatever you need to do to remain safe. And if you need to lie, you need to lie. Keep learning and don't forget to vote. check out your voting rules by your state. Check to make sure if you are registered to vote, because some states have been playing dirty with kicking people off of the voter registration rolls. Lawrence says, legally correct, and I totally feel and appreciate you, but I gotta say, that's between me and the ballot box will literally get people, especially women, hurt. 10 out of 10 do not suggest. Olivia says, I hear you very much. I was trying to keep it vague. Jake says, I think it's important to explicitly say that there's nothing wrong with lying to your abusive partner to protect your safety. Cornelia says, indeed, look that man in the eye and lie like a rug. What he doesn't know will not hurt you. Tap into that inner Meryl Streep, because it's all about your survival. So, do you have that? They cannot see who you voted for. They can see who you are, what party you're registered for, but they cannot see who you voted for. And then we got Antifa Pudding Pop saying, if they call walls tampon Tim, let them. Any woman knows the feeling of being caught without adequate supplies, and girl moms and dads worry for their daughters. It's juvenile and politically stupid. By alienating the voters, they are doing our work for us. And this is in regards to the viral or trending hashtag that was hashtag tampon Tim. The Republicans think that it was a bad thing or a gotcha moment to say that Tim Walz put tampons and items in all bathrooms, and they're really saying that like that really does something to besmirch his character. It's so weird. Anne says, the building I work for has free tampons and pads in the restrooms, and I literally use it as a recruiting tactic. MAGA once again fails to read the room. I used to be her says, they think that it's an insult because these are wackadoo weirdos who somehow equate a woman's menstrual period with X, and they are offended by women and X, or they are afraid of both. Either way, they need less stupid insults and more biology lessons. I absolutely agree with that. Antifa Pudding Pop says, or they don't want boys or girls to understand it, so they get pregnant. This person says, what an idiotic name to call him. Antifa Pudding Pop says, and it's backfiring spectacularly. It really is, because what woman doesn't know what it's like to get caught out there like this? Dennis says, I supply my district with pads and tampons for those that need them. They're free. They're in free dispensers in all student bathrooms and nurses' office. The unexpected always happens. Why should they feel humiliated because of it? Antifa says, exactly. This is why we love you. Donna says, hell yes, we have all been there. And Antifa Pudding Pop says, it's literally a bonding experience among complete strangers. Everything that this Republican Party has done has been seeming to try to alienate women and everybody. Like, I don't know. They are really out here doing their best to be hashtag weird AF. And I love that for them. I do love that for them. Anyways, these are the tweet threads that I wanted to highlight. Go ahead, let me know what you think about them. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. All right, TikTok, YouTube, all of social media. My name is Leroy, but you can call me Lee, and I'm a good man. I'm a good man because I've never been to jail, and I always go to work, and I always take care of my kids by babysitting them. So that is the reason why I am a good person. So I made a post, and I was asking everybody to tell me why they were good, why someone would say, I am a good woman, I am a good man. And I got some really good answers from my really good community, and I just wanted to share some of them with y'all. I got my computer here, and I'm going to just share some of the answers. Brown Eyed Girl says, I'm a good woman because I take care of the kids I created and are legally and morally responsible for. And I think that that makes a good woman. Spiritual Woman Bopping Around says, I'm a good woman because I pay my bills every month. And I do believe that that is a good woman right there. I'm Weak for Deaky says, I'm a good woman because I make basic meals without burning down the kitchen. And I do believe that that is a good woman. Carter says, I'm a good woman because I hold doors open for men all the time. And I do believe that that makes her a good woman. Miss YouTube says, I'm a good woman because I've never set up a man to get robbed. That is great. That is great to never have done that. Life of Love Blue says, I'm a good woman because I don't rely on welfare. That means that she must have a job. And when you have a job, you're a good person. Val says, I'm a good woman because I do the dishes without being asked. And all I get is criticism for not wiping down the countertops or putting away leftovers. Good women are never appreciated. I hear you, Val. I hear you. I hear you. Love the Skin You're In says, I'm a good woman because I pay my bills on time or before time. I'm a good woman because I shower and brush and floss my teeth twice a day. Absolutely. That is what good women do. Ooh, this one is good. This one is good. Level Up Goddess says, I'm a good woman because I have my own apartment and my own car, not living in my mother's basement over here. Absolutely. That makes her a good person. Mammy says, I'm a good woman because I clean up after myself after my partner asked me 36 times. At least it didn't get to 40. At least it didn't get to 40. Friend of Crow says, I'm a good woman because I feed and water my pets. That makes a good woman. That absolutely makes a good woman. Oh, here we go says, I'm a good woman because I've never overthrown the government, not even when it deserved it. I have also never overthrown the government, and I believe that that makes me good as well. Oh, Sister Soldier, I like her. She says, I'm a good woman because I babysit my kids. I do understand that because I also babysit my kids. Aunt says, I'm a good woman because I don't have the tendency to abuse, beat up people, and subjugate others just to have purpose in life. That is good. I think that that makes a great person. Um, Emo Loves Black says, I do my own laundry and cook my own meals. I have a lot of potential because I'm partway through a degree. I can fill a gas tank. Great. Mow the lawn and take out the trash. I even go to therapy. Whew, so many good people. Candyland says, I'm a good woman because I'm not smoking crack. Man. Whew. And with that, she topped it right there. Mic drop. She doesn't smoke crack, and whew, you don't meet too many people like that these days. I have a few more. Alex says, I'm a good woman because I take my dog to the vet when he needs to go instead of telling someone else to do it. That's great. Luna says, I'm a good woman because I haven't abandoned my kids. Oh, and because I take them to school too. That's great. That's great. Um, A.R. Smith says, I'm a good woman because I brush my hair and teeth when I leave the house. When I leave the house is that's wild. Lammy Howe says, I'm a good woman because I keep my house in ship shape and that lawn is always mowed. Plumpy Yana says, I'm a good woman because for decades I let my mammy run the house and finances and didn't have to lift a finger, not even to raise my own children. But now I get to sit back and reap the rewards and watch my house mammy being torn down and told her she's not capable of doing anything at all and told her she needs to be more like me while I'm still trying to figure out why people use washcloths. Okay, so I haven't got that one. That one was kind of different, but that makes her a good woman. Okay. Rashida says, I'm a good woman because I respect men. In fact, I was raised by strong, independent men because my mother left us. And I need a strong man to hold me down who will speak life into me and be my peace. Yes. Get some peace. Jay Fox says, I'm a good woman because after I eat a holiday meal that's been cooked for me, I help by going outside and building a bonfire in the yard while the dirty dishes miraculously disappear. Beep Beep Bop Boop says, I'm a good woman. I hold down a job and I'm nearly almost on time. Amen. That is great. Kay Frank says, I'm a good woman because I use punctuation. Whew, I I am happy about that because so many people do not use punctuation. Ishtar says, I'm a good woman because I remove myself from situations where people clearly don't like me before I start screaming and crying. That is situational awareness and social intelligence, and I like that. A superstar says, I'm a good woman because I have my own place and pay all the bills. Self helper says, I'm a good woman because I've never been to jail and I file my taxes every year because I'm employed. That is great. I like this one. The Secret Shay says, and it's very simple, I'm a good woman because I have manners and good hygiene. Genevieve says, I'm a good woman because when I can't find something, I actually look for it before asking someone else where I put my things. And I do believe that that makes you a good person. Um, K Peg says, I know who all of my baby's fathers are. That does make you a good person. Joe Smosh says, I took out the bins last week. That totally makes her a good person. BC says, I'm a good woman because even when I'm on my cycle, I go to work all week. I like that. Um, Find Out Bingo says, I'm a good woman because I pay my child support on time. Amen. Prairie Dog says, I'm a good woman because I don't just put down others just to prop up my ego. You got to love women like that. And then Chica Yes says, and this is the final one because this is a mic drop. I'm a good female because I got my GED in prison. Now, I personally have never been to jail or prison, and I've never been caught for any felonies, so I wouldn't know about getting a GED, but I did graduate high school. So that's also what makes me a good man. Remember, my name is Leroy, but you can call me Lee. Why are you a good woman?